Welcome back to another video, everybody. Today I am in the F-150 Lightning. All right, so I only have this car for a couple of days. It's only a loaner. I do not own this vehicle, but it'd be really cool if I did. But anyways, it is currently at 36% and 68 miles of range. If I'm being honest here, I really don't see this truck as really being practical for towing in, like, especially Midwestern weather conditions. But I'm not towing anything today. The mission is we're going to see how low we can get the battery to go before we plug it in at a DC fast charging station. Typically, when I have been test driving EVs, the lowest I've got them to go is like 20%. And that's pretty low, but I mean, when you're coming up to like a fast charging station, you kind of want it to be around 10-20%. That's where it's going to get the optimal charging and charging rate, and you'll be able to get charged in quicker than if you were at a higher percentage. So yeah, I currently have 68 miles of range, and it's going to take about 30 or 40 miles to get to the nearest DC fast charging station. I'm kind of not in a city, so this is mainly for experiment. All right, quick update. I am just about to get on the highway. I have 60 miles of range. It's projecting that we're going to get there 29 miles. So if the chargers don't work there, I don't know. We're gonna have to find somewhere like really close by. Otherwise, I don't know how I'm getting home. All right, so let's open up the charging ports. All right, so it says both of them should be working, and they're the really fast ones. 350 kilowatts is pretty fast. Okay, now it is flashing red. That's definitely not good. All right, guys, that was pretty crazy. So I had a charging fault, which basically means there was a issue between the connection from the charging station to the car. I basically was going to try to unplug it and plug it back in, or plug it at another charger, but it was not releasing the charging cable. So CCS cables are very, very bulky. I'm really not a fan of them. Compared to Tesla's, like Tesla's is far superior. So when plugging it in, it was just not letting go, which I called Electrify America, and since I'm brand new with this vehicle, I didn't know how to go about it. So basically, it connects with these two ports right here. Typically, you'll use the top one for home charging, bottom one, and top one for fast charging. And this light here was basically indicating that it was connecting at first, and then there was a fault. And it was not releasing the charging cable, or the charging cable wasn't releasing itself. I don't know if it was the car's problem or if it was this problem. Anyways, there was nothing in the manual about like emergency release. They're kind of going over options, but nothing was really working. But then I'm like, hey, what does this button do right here? Held it down, sure enough, it released it. So I don't know if you have to press that every time or if it's just an emergency, but I don't know. So I don't know. I'm gonna stick with this charger one more time. If this doesn't work, then I'm gonna switch to another one, but I'm gonna use that cable. It is like currently like 30 degrees outside, so I really want to just get this charged. Is it gonna actually reach this though? It should. That's not supposed to be like that. I'm gonna switch chargers. Okay, second attempt. It says plug in first, so I'm gonna follow that. This better work. Okay, connecting. Please work. Please. Oh, that's not good. Attempt number 3. Ridiculous. All right, fourth and final try. This whole charging area, that means all of the chargers have not worked. There you go. This is unbelievable. I'm not that far away from home, so I have options and I have people I can call, but realistically, this is terrible. If you're on a road trip or anything, especially with this truck, like the range isn't even that good to begin with. If you're towing, it's just not reliable. And I understand they're trying to improve the charging infrastructure, but they've got a very long way to go. This is actually ridiculous. I can't believe this is happening. Luckily, I've located a charge point, which is somewhat fast charger, but definitely not as fast as Electrify America. Electrify America, if you're watching this, yeah, you gotta go quicker with upgrading your infrastructure. This is not good at all. Luckily, this is only a test. I mean, this is like, I'm not trying to go somewhere. It's late at night. I really just wanted to do a test with this since we only have it for a couple of days. But I don't know. I've test drove a Mach-E and it's worked fine. And it's even displaying that, yeah, it's working. No, none of them are working. That the CHAdeMO or whatever, that's a different charging port that this does not, it's not going to work with it. So literally we have to go to slower charger just because none of them will work at all. First though, I'm going to call customer support and just let them know that none of them are working. I called customer service. They are aware of this now. So hopefully they get somebody on this. Although they haven't really dealt with F-150s before. It kind of seemed that way, and I think the first representative told me that. So they said that if it's giving a lot of charge fault errors, that's typically going to be something with the software. So I'll have to let the dealership know that this has to be looked at, so the potential next, like, their customer who's going to actually buy this doesn't end up in a situation like this. So, you know, it sucks to be in this position, but, you know, going to help someone out who would be potentially purchasing this in the future. So all about helping inform people and not cause misinformation. I mean, as much as I'd like to say, oh, I had an amazing charging experience, that's not the case. But let's go on to the next charging station. It's about 2 miles away, but it's going to be very slow. So let's get there now. And 19 miles of range. We have arrived to the charger, but as you can see, that one is flashing, and that's the one we need. So I'm really not looking forward to this. I really think it's going to say that there's an error. Connect plug into car. Oh, okay. And finally, we have success. It's charging. All right, everybody. I know the lighting is pretty bad, but I have made it to a ChargePoint DC fast charge. So this is going to not be as fast as like Electrify America, but still DC fast charging. It's using up both parts of the port, so it's pretty fast, I would assume. But I kind of have to go to the bathroom, and the gas station it's by is closed. But it's cool that it's right by, I think it's part of the gas station. So, I mean, if you're here during regular hours, you could use the bathroom, which I wish. But I'm next to, I mean, yeah, it's cool. That's a little bit of a walk, maybe like a quarter of a mile. But I'm right kind of by a Hy-Vee, and in case you can't see, that is a Tesla supercharger. Yeah, that's Tesla superchargers right there. And I wish this was a Tesla right now, because their charging network is like flawless practically. It's insane. But I'm so glad this actually works. Electrify America, you gotta get your stuff together, or I don't know who it is. Ford, contact Electrify America, get it sorted out, because this is DC fast charging and it's working. So I don't know, software issues, it's working. It's charging at 41 kilowatt hours. I don't know. I'm gonna get it to a comfortable area where I can get home without having to worry about running out of energy. The range and the charging infrastructure are just not there for a sedan or like SUV, where you're not really using it for other than the stuff that's inside the car. I can see it being still practical nowadays, but not towing. Sad to say that, because I really like EVs and I believe they're the future. So currently the car knows that it's charging, which is a good thing. It says 90% at 1:50 a.m. Like, that's like practically 4 hours. I'm not going to wait for 90%, more like 50 or 40 or something. All right, the time is 11:41 and we have 53 miles of range, charged 29%. Almost time for me to head off and head back to home. Really thankful for ChargePoint. So shout out to ChargePoint. Thank you for providing a charging station that actually works with the F-150 Lightning. Thumbs up. So everybody, if you're using F-150 right now and you haven't fast charged at a Electrify America, if you have one near you and you want to try it out, let me know what happens, but don't cut your range so close that if you don't get to charge there, you're gonna get stranded. And if you're not near one and you haven't charged at one before, just take yours to a dealership and make sure that it's fully updated and is capable of charging at one. That's all I can really offer. They weren't even really sure at Electrify America when I called them. And thankfully, I did not get stranded at the charging location. I'm not sure what they would have done for me, if they would have covered towing costs or what. But yeah, for this kind of a car, this kind of a price, technology built into it, they really need to get the stuff sorted out and fast. All right, and to stop charging, all we have to do is press this button. So somebody could easily do that, even if you didn't mean to turn it off. And let's see if it'll unplug easily. And just like that, it unplugs. Like, I don't have to utilize that button there. Just so easy. And just plug it or put it back in here. No problem. We're good to go. Let's head home. Oh. Home. Home. Oh. Home. All right, I made it home and have 23 miles of range. That is not a lot. Long story short, if you have an F-150 Lightning, go to your dealership, make sure all the software updates are installed. If you don't have one, I don't know. I mean, this can give you a little bit of an example. This is a video taken during the winter. It's like 24 degrees outside, so range isn't that good. Wasn't towing anything, and still look at what happened. The charging network is not where it needs to be for at least long distance traveling with a truck that is towing something. Now, if this was like a Mach-E or a different vehicle that has been on the market for a while, maybe this would have turned out different. Maybe the software between the car, a different car, and the Electrify America charging stall would have worked. Who knows? All right, everyone, I decided to get some redemption here at the Electrify America here where I was last time in the F-150 Lightning. This time I'm in a Mach-E. Want to see if it would work with it, and sure enough, it does. You can't see because it's snowing, but it is charging, and you can see it here, fast charging. So I think basically it was just probably a software error, and like I said, they need to get that fixed. But at least for the vehicles that have been out for a while on the market, at least they are working here. But yeah, I mean, I drove here as a test, so I didn't like drain the battery, and I didn't want to drain it in case something did go wrong with it. I had an initial like processing error with the credit card, but that was because I was using like the tap to pay method, and I just put the chip in the second time and it worked fine. So I got here when I was at like 70, yeah, like 76, 77%. So it was a test, and it's charging at like 28 kilowatt hours, which is super slow, but that could be because the car hasn't been driven too much today, and because it's at 80%. But it was a good test, and now it's time to head back, and yeah, it's great to know that at least this car works with it.